Governors from the South-South geopolitical zone have called on President Bola Tinubu to rescind his declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. In a statement by Bayelsa State Governor, who doubles as the chairman of the South-South Governors Forum, Senator Doye Diri, the governors expressed concern that the current political situation in Rivers State does not warrant a state of emergency as outlined in Section 305, subsection 3 of the Nigerian Constitution. They said the section of the Constitution suggests that the state of emergency declaration should be considered under specific conditions like war, external aggression, imminent invasion, breakdown of public order, existential threats to Nigeria, natural disasters, or other significant public dangers. They hold that the political dispute in Rivers State between the suspended governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and the House of Assembly should be resolved through legal and constitutional means, rather than by executive fiat. Well, the governors called for a review of the state of emergency in order to reduce tension and establish a foundation of enduring peace in Rivers State. Well, Emmanuel Ogidi is the chairman of the Caretaker Committee of the People's Democratic Party for the South-South geopolitical zone. He joins us now to review the events of Rivers State and the reactions of South-South governors to them. Thank you for joining us here today on Newsday.
Yeah, thank you very much, Hawa.
Well, yes, as we know, the House of Reps has unsurprisingly approved this controversial state of emergency rule in Rivers State, despite calls from Rivers elders and leaders of forums and other political thought leaders to reconsider, as we just spoke about in the intro. Well, could you tell us what the position of the PDP South Caretaker Committee is on this whole situation, and of course, your opinion as well?
Yeah, well, we, as a party, we have stated, if you remember yesterday, we gave a press conference requesting Mr. President to rescind it, but he didn't listen. The truth of the matter is that, yes, we had internal issues. Rivers State is a very key state in this country. I was born there, I grew up there. I know what it is like. But I was surprised when Mr. President, during the proclamation, what he was saying. He spent all the time blaming the governor of Rivers State. But he never mentioned the chief instigator. And we all know who the chief instigator is, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory. He never mentioned. And yesterday night again, the Attorney General was saying, there's no proof, there's nothing. I was surprised. Here is the minister who addressed a press conference, and he was so loose. He even referred to the NWC, the organ that runs the party he belongs to. Called them idiots. Even went to the extent of even referring to other elders. It's unfortunate that this happened in this country. I was born to respect elders. If you read the Bible, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1, we are told that children should obey their parents. It's a very serious law, but what we are seeing today is so sad. We are pained. The party is pained. Rivers people are pained because they've done what is necessary. But unfortunately, Abuja feels that they know better. But time will tell. I believe time will tell. There's nothing you can do. Mr. President took an oath to defend the integrity of the country. Well, since he says he would declare the state of emergency in Rivers State, that I lived, Rivers State, I was there in the last 2 weeks. I didn't see what he said was going on. Maybe he was seeing some things we were not seeing. But one thing I know is that yesterday morning, I was in Port Harcourt. A lady said, what is it? But nobody knew what was going to happen. Because around there, the last time they heard about the emergency was during the war. Is there a war coming? Somebody was thinking, is there a war coming? Why are they declaring the state of emergency? I see there was a war. But there was no war. Maybe there's something they're not telling us, but time will tell. But as for my comment, I'm pained that the governor was suspended, the state was declared. But that's democracy. You kill democracy in River State. Let's not pretend. It's a coup against democracy. Mr. President is the chairman of ECOWAS. When they were coup in those sub-regions, Burkina Faso and all, he said, no, it's wrong. But what has happened in River State, it's a coup against River State. Because how are you going to manage the political situation now? They were planning a local government. So are you saying the administrator is going to drive the process? How is he going to drive the process? River State is the PDP state. But the APC government wants to take it by force. And that's what they've done. They've captured River State. APC has captured River State. By all means. And this is the game plan for 2027. The way they are going, I know they're not going to stop there. They are going to target the other South states. Because APC is losing a lot now from the north, so they must go into the South. But I believe by the grace of God, they will not succeed in the other states. We are going to do whatever it takes to make sure this does not repeat itself. So we are pained, we are sad. PDP, we are very sad. We are in line with what Governor Ogidi said. But we are going to encourage our people. And it's very interesting. I've been moving around Abuja. This morning I entered a boat. The boatman was talking. I was just listening to him. Yes, he abused us, PDP. You know what he said? Hey, PDP na Nakosam now. He didn't even know I was on PDP. That EPD put their feet on the ground. This will not happen. Why didn't they expel the minister? I told him, well, I just said in my mind, it's easy to say those things. But we're trying to manage the family. PDP is a very big family. And all kinds of people are in the party. But unfortunately, it's those who have benefited more that are creating a problem for us. So sad. Because if you're a committed PDP man, you will not do anything against the party. Imagine you going outside to abuse your father. It's not wrong. It's very wrong. No child, no well-brought-up child can be seen or should be seen abusing the father. The NWC is like your father. And you're abusing your father, ridiculing your father. Then other parties will ridicule us. I know people are trying to lose faith, but I'm here by the grace of God. Please don't lose faith. We are re-strategizing. We are going to bring back PDP to the last glory. Don't forget that PDP is over 27 years now. APC just started. Even with their problem, they've just started. So, but we are going to manage our problem. And I believe by the grace of God, we'll get it right.
Okay. Now, thank you so much for that. How will the suspension of the state government affect the political landscape of Rivers State, and what are the long-term implications of this decision taken by President Tinubu?
Apart from the fact that the Rivers will suffer, it's going to affect us as PDP because we are controlling the state. You have removed governors from our hand and given it to an appointee of APC. The vice admiral is an appointee of APC now. He's going to be referring to the president. So, what are we talking about? He's saying he's going to talk with stakeholders. What is he going to say? He is brought in there to destroy PDP. That's the truth. But I believe he will not succeed because Rivers State is PDP and PDP is Rivers State. They won't succeed.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but some people would say that the PDP has already been destroyed. that you really do not need an outsider to do that for you. What would you say to that?
Are you talking about River State or you're talking about PDP generally?
Well, you said that it's a decision that is meant to destroy the PDP in River State.
Because you asked me about River State.
Because you said earlier that you're trying to manage the family, but you have a child in the family that is determined to bring the family down, that is determined to burn the house. You haven't done anything about it, and then to now blame the president, of trying to destroy the PDP. Isn't that a bit unfair?
The child will not succeed. I can assure you that, but he will not succeed.
Well, we sincerely hope so. We do know that there have been a lot of discussion about the constitutional and legal implications that this state of emergency will have on the democratic process within Rivers State and the country in general. Do you expect to see this litigated in a court of law?
Of course. We're going to test it again. Of course, definitely. We're going to head to the courts. Because we need to get the clear interpretation. We need to. We believe the court will do something about it. Because, you see, look, I didn't want to go into the legal way. They have discussed everything. Everything to be discussed about the action has been discussed. So, let's test it in court.
No, that's
fine.
That's why disagreements. That's why disagreements, from several quarters.
What?
I said despite disagreements from several groups, stakeholders, the AGF, the National Assembly, as you've noted, they've all thrown their weight behind this declaration that the president made. What does this say about the individuals involved? What does this say about our democracy in Nigeria?
Well, you see, we need to guide the democracy. If we're not careful, the democracy will run wild. So we all need to guide it. That is why you see the NBA yesterday came up with their position, and so many stakeholders are discussing it. Everybody is making the effort to defend and protect the democracy. But APC is accelerating the destruction of democracy in Nigeria, but they will not succeed. We'll do whatever it takes to protect democracy.
Well, amongst all of this discussion is the discussion about how the Rivers State people are feeling right about now, how they're internalizing what's going on within their state. We know that there have been heavy police presence and military on the streets since day before yesterday and yesterday. They haven't had peace generally since Fubara came into office, and Wike and him have been going back and forth. So what can be done?
Yes, it will take some time. When you just heard that you lose somebody, it's like we lost somebody. That's the reaction. You first of all have that shock. Right now we're in shock. But as the shock is fading, then we're going to start strategizing. We're going to strategize. We'll get over it. Nigeria has gone over so many things. We'll get over it. I have that belief. We will get over it. And the right thing will eventually be done. We'll get over it.
Now, the president seemed to lay a lot of blame on Governor Sim Fubara in his speech. So looking back now, what do you think the governor could have done better to prevent getting to this point?
Why do you want to blame him? They met in Abuja. They gave conditions. He withdrew the cases. The other side didn't withdraw case. The second one, the Supreme Court gave a judgment. Go and represent the budget. He was trying to represent the budget. The people refused to open the doors for him. They are rebuilding the House of Assembly. They said he destroyed the assembly. But we all knew that time there was a bomb incident. And then when they saw because of the structural defect, they had to pull down the building to rebuild. They said it was the one. How? Well, then there was what they call pipeline. They said he was the one. No, now. Even a child knows that it's not true. But they're just saying, you have to give the dog a bad name to hang the dog. But I'm surprised at what Mr. President did. For all your report, you kept talking about the governor? No, now. You know the chief instigator. He's your man, he's his man. Even in the media chat. He was so excited talking about him. The world is watching. We're all watching.
Speaking of the chief instigator, it's true, the chief instigator
does... the Minister of
the chief instigator, let's just call him Nyesom Wike, is very close with President Tinubu, clearly. But it seems that he's a monster that the PDP helped to create. And we go back to the fact that he has been a badly behaved child, quote unquote, of the PDP for a very long time. You have been on this show with me and Timmy Tokpa numerous times when we have asked, what is the PDP going to do about Nyesom Wike? And nothing had been done. Now people are asking, what is the president going to do about Nyesom Wike? But the PDP didn't even do anything themselves. So now that we have this hydra-headed monster, so to speak, doing as he will, should the PDP not feel like they have failed woefully in trying to curtail something that was obviously going to be a catastrophic situation if let get out of hand, as it has right now?
No, you see, you cannot take away the good things he has done over the years. But the Bible is very clear on this. If you read Exodus chapter 18 from verse 26, it will get to a time that all those good you have done will not even be remembered again. That's my answer to that.
Okay, so let's talk about, the state of emergency. What is the potential impact of this declaration on the human rights of residents in Rivers State?
Well, we have been dropping in the human rights scale, so we are going to drop further.
Well, that's unfortunate. It seems that, human rights are being disregarded left, right, and center, and decisions are being unilaterally made without the thoughts of the citizens with whom it will affect the most. But once again, it was great to have you on the show. We wish we had more time. But Emmanuel Ogidi, please join us again here on Newsday. We have more to discuss about Wike, because I'm sure this isn't his last attempt.
It's my pleasure.